Hi Nemo, how are you today?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Shall we get started?
Yes.
Alrighty, so we're going to start with an old review. And do you remember what CK says?
K.
Good job. So write CK for me where it says phoneme. Good
K.
job. And can you tell me, and yes, it does say cut. Can you tell me what our keyword is? Do you remember?
Duck.
Duck. Could you write duck for me?
Oh, K.
Nice finger spelling. And do you know where CK goes in a word?
At the end.
At the end. Good job. So could you circle end for me? Good job. And do you remember what the rule is that it follows?
If there's a short vowel sound,
Mm-hmm.
then we have a C before the K, and a
Nice
CK
job.
makes a K.
And what do we do at the end of a word if it doesn't follow the soldier rule?
Then we just have a K.
Nice. Good job. Okay. And do you know whether CK is voice or unvoiced? So put your hand on your throat and make the sound.
K. K. Unvoiced.
Unvoiced. Good job. So circle unvoiced for me. And could you write soldier rule over here? And here's the spelling if you need it. Good job. Alrighty, so we're going to spell a few CK rules, okay? So I want you to use your finger spelling, okay? So for the first one, so start right over here. Could you spell for me tick?
I. K. T. I. T. I.
Good job, nice CK. What about kick?
Kick. K. I. K. Kick.
Good, and nice job using a K. Do you know why we use a K here, not a C?
Cat. Kite.
Nice. What would it say? Do you know what it would say if I did this? If I spelled it with a C instead of a K?
Thick.
It would say sick because C is scared of I, and so he hisses because C, our keyword for C is catch. Alrighty, let's move on from that one. Could you try for me the word stack?
Ah. St. Ah.
Nice job. And our last one, quack.
Quack. Quack.
Yeah.
Quack.
I see what you've done here. That qu sound, it does sound like a K and a W, doesn't it? So what's happening when you see when you hear a K and a W is it's not actually going to be a K and a W. What it is going to be a QU. So do you remember what our keyword is? QU.
Quit.
Quit. And what's making that qu sound?
QU.
And when we have a Q, do we ever not have a U?
No.
Yeah, that's right. Because
they're best friends.
Well, it's actually because Q is a queen and the U is a bodyguard, and you never see the queen go anywhere without a bodyguard, do you? So if you hear that qu sound, it's going to be QU saying qu. So could you cross out that quack for me and try it again next to it?
Quack. W. Ah.
Nice job. Alrighty. So now we're going to move on to our new phoneme. So our phoneme, do you remember what EE says?
E.
E. Good job. Could you write EE for me here?
E.
And do you remember what our keyword is?
Sheep.
Sheep. Good job. So try sheep there for me.
Sh. E.
And do you remember which one of the H brothers says sh?
SH.
SH. Good job.
E. Sheep.
Nice. And do you know where EE goes in a word?
In the middle.
In the middle. Good job. Alrighty. And let's grab our clover here. So do you remember clover?
Mm-hmm.
So do you remember what the C means?
Closed.
Closed syllables. And what happens when a word is closed? What happens to the vowel?
It gets short.
Good job. So, for example, like it, hit, or can you think of another closed syllable word?
Cat.
Cat, that's a good one. Cat. Cat. And what about, do you remember what this one is?
Open.
Open. Can you think of any open syllable words?
Sheep.
Not quite sheep. I see what you're saying, but with an open, the vowel has to go at the end of a word. And that E, what that is a vowel team, remember? So we know two vowel teams. Do you remember which ones?
E-E.
E-E.
A-Y.
A-Y, good job. So a vowel team is a team of vowels working together to make one sound. And so these usually, so E-E goes in the middle of a word, like sheep, sheep. Or with A-Y, that's at the end. Pay, because we can't have just an A at the end because the A says it's schwa sound and says ah. So we need an A-Y vowel team to say an A sound. And so sheep isn't an open syllable, it's a vowel team. Can you think of any open syllable words?
High.
High is one, good job. And give me one more.
Go.
Go, that's a good one. Good. O, and the vowel is saying it's long sound. So with EE, that one is a vowel team. Good job. And is EE voiced or unvoiced?
E voiced.
Voiced. And remember, if it's a vowel sound, it has to be voiced. Remember that one?
Yes.
Good job. And for the pattern, could you write for me vowel team?
Vowel team.
Vowel team. Do you need some help spelling that?
Yes, please.
Okay. So we're going to go v, ow, vowel, team, t, t, e, Good job. Alrighty. So now what we're going to do is we're going to read a few EE words. So here's a highlighter. And so as you can see, there's some EE words down here. And I'd like you to read them. And I want you to highlight all of the EE vowel teams that you see while you're reading them.
Need.
Good job.
Beef. Beef. Weep.
Yeah. Good job.
Queen.
Yeah.
Sheet. Sheet. Sheep.
Yeah.
Green.
Nice. And now this one's a long one over here, isn't it? This is a multi-syllable word. And so we're going to break it up before we read, okay? So I'm going to label all the talking vowels with the V and then all of the consonants in between with the C. And because there are two in between, I'm going to break it up right in between the X and the T. So I'm going to read this syllable, then blend it, and then move on to the next one. And then I'm going to blend the syllables together.
Six. Teen. 16.
I think that deserves a stamp. Good job. Alrighty. So now what we're going to do is we're going to spell a few EE words. So here's your pencil, and I'll take that one. Alrighty. So for this first one, could you try for me the word beep?
B-E-P. B-E-P. Beep.
Good job. The next one, weed.
W-E-D. W-E-D. Weed.
Good job. And then scene.
Scene. E-N. Teen.
Teen.
T-E-N. T-E-N.
Tree.
T-R-E. Tree.
And this next one, indeed. So because this is a multi-syllable word, I want you, when you're finger spelling, to have one finger for each syllable.
Indeed.
There we go. Now take it one syllable at a time, okay?
In. I. N.
Mm-hmm.
D. E. D. E. D.
Good job. You did a very good job. You get another stamp. Okay. So we're going to do our visual drill now. Alrighty, so I'm going to show you a card and I want you to tell me all the sounds that it can make. So remember, some can have more than one sound.
G. E. Y.
Yeah, good job. See this one, how has the 2 on the bottom?
I.
Mm-hmm.
I.
Good job.
Sp. D. E. E. S. Z.
Yeah, good job.
Qu.
Yes, quir.
N. K. T. P.
Careful not to add a schwa sound at the end. So remember, it's like fogging up a mirror with our breath. So it's just, there we go. Good job.
K.
Good job.
E.
And do you remember what our keyword for this one is?
Sheep.
Sheep, good job. And do you remember where EE goes in a word?
In the middle.
Good job. And is it voiced or unvoiced?
Voiced.
Yes.
All vowels are voiced.
Good job. And do you remember what our pattern is?
A vowel team.
Vowel team, good job.
P. A. A.
Good job.
A.
Mm-hmm.
K. Z. A.
Yeah.
U.
Yes.
U.
Ooh, good job.
B. X. J. Sh.
Good job.
R. W. O. O.
Good job. Okay, and I think that there was one missing in here for the auditory drill. So I'm just gonna grab it up real quick. There it is. And do you remember what this one is? K. K. And do you remember what our keyword is?
Duck.
Duck. And do you remember where it goes in a word?
At the end.
And do you remember what the rule is?
Soldier.
Soldier. And is it voiced or unvoiced?
Unvoiced.
Unvoiced. Good job. Alrighty, let's keep going. So we're going to do the auditory drill now. So over here in these boxes, I'm going to say a sound, and I'd like you to do all of the ways that you know how to make that sound. Ooh.
Ooh.
X, x, w,
W.
o,
O.
t, d,
D.
e, e, e. Good job. Y,
Y.
I,
I.
v,
V.
b,
B. K. K. K.
good job. J,
J.
I,
I.
g,
G.
qu.
Qu. Quit. Qu.
Good job. And remember, because we struggle a little bit with QU, so qu, and I want you to repeat that.
Qu.
And do you remember our keyword?
Quit.
Quit. And how we spell that? Qu, I, t. And what's making that qu sound?
The Q and the U
The
together.
QU. Qu, I, t. And now what I'd like you to do is I want you on the whiteboard to write QU 3 times while saying qu.
Qu. Qu. Qu.
Good job. Okay. Next one, could you try for me? Yes, on the auditory drill. Good job. Ooh.
Ooh.
Ooh. Good job. Oh.
Oh.
A.
A. A.
Good job. Eh.
Eh.
S. Sh. Ah.
Ah.
Mm.
Mm.
R.
R.
Mm.
Mm.
U.
U.
Z.
Z. Z.
Nice. Good job. And last one. Ah.
Ah. Ah.
Good job. I think you get another stamp. Good job. Okay, so we're going to move on to our blending drill now, okay? So do you remember how we do our blending drill?
No.
So remember,
I remember.
for each box, we tap and then we blend. So I'm going to move this so you have the tabletop. Already ready?
N. E. K. Neck.
Good job.
P. E. K. Peck. M. E. K. Mech. M. E. Me. Me.
Me, good job. And why does that say E?
It's open.
It's open. Good job.
S. E. N. Seen. Z. E. P. Zeep. Sp. E. D. Speed. Y. E. G. Yeeg. Y.
Oh, yep.
Y. A. Sh. Yush. A. Sh. Bash. Sh. A. B. Shab. D. A. Day.
Good job.
K. A. K. M. A. May. M. A. K. Mac. Sack. Sack. Ick. Sick. Eesh. Reesh. Eep. Teep.
Good job. Okay, so now what we're going to learn today is, okay, so this is the card here. Now, this says ch. Can you say ch? Ch. Now, can you tell me, is it voiced or unvoiced? Ch.
Unvoiced.
Yes, good job. Okay, so can you, with your finger on this here, can you, and I'll put this under here, can you trace CH 3 times while saying ch?
Yeah.
Good job. And can you tell me, what is your mouth doing when you say that word? What's your tongue doing?
It's near the top and front.
Mm-hmm. Kind of sounds like a train.
Mm-hmm.
And our keyword, and I'll give you this one. So, here's your pencil. So could you write for me CH at the top? And our keyword is the word chip. So, ch, ch, I, ch, I, chip. Good job. And do you know where CH goes in a word?
At the beginning.
At the beginning and at the end, if it's after a vowel team or an R controlled. And we'll learn about what an R controlled is in a few lessons. But beginning and the end. Good job. And our pattern is, do you remember us learning about SH? Well, now we're learning about CH. You see how it's like he's cold. So could you write for me where it says pattern, the H brothers? Good job. And is it voiced or unvoiced?
Unvoiced.
Unvoiced. Good job. Okay. Apologies for that. Another one of my students. Okay, so now what I'd like you to do is we're going to go over to this page, and I would like you to write CH 3 times while saying ch with your pencil. Good job. Okay, so now we're going to read a few CH words. So see these ones. See, here's a highlighter, and I'd like you, same with what we did with the EE, is to highlight all of the CHs while reading the word.
Oh. Chop.
Mm-hmm.
Ch. A. T. Chat.
Mm-hmm.
Ch. E. K. Check.
Mm-hmm.
Ch. I. Chick.
Good job.
Ch. I. Chip.
Mm-hmm.
Ch. E. Cheek.
Awesome.
Sp. S. E. Speech.
Good job.
Ch. Ch. Ch.
This one's a hard one, isn't it?
Yes.
So we're going to break this one up, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to break it up right here and right here. And I'd like you to take it one syllable at a time, okay? So see that CH there? So first highlight that CH. Okay, now let's take it this one at a time.
Ch. I. M. chimp.
Now next one.
An.
Yep. Now let's blend these two.
Chimpan.
Now this last one.
Z. Chimpanzee.
And all together.
Chimpanzee.
Good job. And you get a stamp. Good job. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to spell a few CH words. So over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, with your pencil, could you do for me first? So remember, these are going to be some real words and some nonsense words. The first one, chap.
Ch.
Good job. Chet.
Ch. T.
And next one, che.
Che. Ch. A. Ch. A.
Good job. Next one, treat.
Ch. 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 R. E. Ch. R. E. Ch.
I see what you've done there. So let's go through treat, shall we? So it sounds, you are right, just like CH, E, ch. But what's happening is this sound here, this ch, CH doesn't just make a ch sound. In some words, it actually makes a k sound. And in English, it says ch. And when you see a CH and an R together, CH is not actually saying ch, it's saying k. And so this would actually say kr. And so if you're hearing ch because of our Australian accent, what's actually happening is a T and an R. Tr. Tr is a little bit too enunciated for our accent, and we're very lazy with our sounds. And so it's easier for us, instead of saying t, we say ch. So if you hear tr, it's never going to be CHR, even though it kind of sounds like it. It's actually TR. So could you try for me again, treat? So cross that one out and try treat again next to it.
Ch. E. Ch. E. Ch.
Good job. Okay, and next one, could you try chosh?
Ch. O. Sh. Ch. O. Sh. O.
And last one, cho.
Cho. Ch. O. Ch. O.
Good job. Okay, so now could you write CH with your finger 3 times again while saying ch.
Ch. Ch. Ch.
Good job. Okay, so what's the sound? Ch. And is it voiced or unvoiced?
Ch. Unvoiced.
And where does it go in a word?
It goes at the start and at the end.
And if there is a vowel team or an R controlled, and don't worry, we'll learn what an R controlled is in a few lessons. And what's our keyword?
Chip.
And what's our pattern?
The H brothers.
The H brothers. Good job. Okay, so we're going to add CH to your deck. Okay. And now we're going to do some sentences, okay? So I'll take this one. So remember how we do finger spelling for sentences?
Yes.
Okay, so our first one is Mick had 1 chip on the dish.
Mick had 1 chip on the dish.
And how many numbers is that?
7.
So write 7. Okay, you ready? Mick.
Ick. Ick.
Yeah, do you remember the rest of it?
Mick had 1 chip it on the ish.
Good job. And that's the end of our sentence. So what do we need?
A full stop.
A full stop. Now I notice here we have a red word here. What's that red word?
One.
One. And we're going to keep doing our sentences, but we're going to come back to this one, okay? Alrighty, so next one is the chick had the sheep play in the hay.
The chick had the sheep play in the hay. 9.
9, good job. Okay, you ready to go?
The chick had the sheep a in the a.
Good job. And what are we missing?
Full stop.
A full stop. Alrighty. And let's check over our 2 sentences so far. So do we have 7 words in this sentence?
Yes.
Yep. And we're going to come back to this red word, okay? So can you circle 1 for me? And do we have 9 over here?
Yes.
Good job. Ready for number 3?
Yes.
The men rushed to chop the log.
The men rushed to chop the log. 7.
Nice.
The n rush oh the g.
Nice full stop. And I notice the word to. You've spelled that one wrong, but it's actually funny because we're going to be learning that red word today. So could you circle 2 for me? Good job. Alrighty, and you've got 7 words?
Yes.
Good job. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to read a little story 2 times. And as we read, we're going to highlight all of the CHs. Okay. So, should we start with the title?
The
Yeah.
chimp an chimpanzee.
Good job.
The chimpanzee and the duck.
Good job.
The chimpanzee has a pet duck. The chimpanzee and the duck had a quick
Nice
chat. The chimpanzee and the duck go play in the hay. The duck got a peck on the cheek. The chimpanzee and the duck had such a fun day.
Good job. And now we're going to read that one again.
The chimpanzee has a pet duck. The chimpanzee and the duck had a quick chat. The chimpanzee and the duck go play in the hay. The duck got a peck on the cheek. The chimpanzee and the duck had such a fun day.
Good job. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do these comprehension questions here. So using these words in the word bank down here, it's all based on the story. I'd like you to figure out what goes in here.
The chimpanzee has a pet duck.
Good job.
The chimpanzee and the duck had a quick chat.
Good job.
The duck got a peck on the cheek.
Good job. And I think somebody gets a dinosaur stamp. Okay. So now, can you tell me, what does the chimpanzee have?
A pet duck.
And what do the chimpanzee and the duck do?
They have a quick chat and they play in the hay.
Good job. And who do you think gave the duck a peck on the cheek?
The chimpanzee.
Yep. And why do you think the chimpanzee likes the duck so much?
Because ducks are really cute.
Maybe they like each other. And what is a chimpanzee? Can you describe one?
It's a monkey. It's a
It
monkey.
is. Good job. All right, so we're going to do our red words, okay? So going back, so we're going to figure out what's happening here, okay? Okay, so with your red pen here, can you spell for me one? I have one cat.
Ooh, one.
Only.
Only.
Once. Once upon a time. Of. Okay, so now before we learn our new red word for today, there we are. Okay, so can you check? Did you get one?
No.
You didn't. Okay, let's go over this one, okay? So what we're going to do is, can you write for me on here a line for each sound that you hear?
W, a, n. W, a, n.
Good job. Okay, and can you write how it sounds?
W, a, n.
Good job. So one is spelt like this. Now, can you tell me what's not matching up?
There's only one here, but there's two here.
So we're going to put a heart over that one. And what about this E over here?
It doesn't have something.
And so this O is making two sounds. It says wah, 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 wah. So what we need to do is we're going to arm tap, okay? So we're going to go O-N-E, 1, 3 times, okay?
O-N-E, 1. O-N-E, 1. O-N-E, 1.
Good job. And now I want you to trace these with your finger while saying letter names 3 times.
O-N-E, O-N-E, O-N-E.
And what does that say?
1.
1. Good job. And now what I want you to do is with this red marker, I want you to write 1 for me 3 times while saying the letter names.
O-N-E,
Mhm.
1. O-N-E, 1. O-N-E, 1.
Good job. Okay, and so going back to our sentences that we did before, Mick had 1 chip on the dish. How do we spell that red word 1?
O-N-E.
Good job. Could you write 1 in the red pen above?
O-N-E.
Good job. All right, let's move on. So the next one, did you get this red word?
Yes.
You did. So you can give it a tick for me right here. On here, yeah. Good job. And the next one, did you get this word?
No.
No. What does this word say?
What? Once.
Once. So what we're going to do is, can you do the same thing? Can you draw a line for every sound that you hear in the word once?
W, a, n, s.
And can you write how it sounds?
W, a, n, s.
Good job. Now, this is how it's spelled. Now, what's not matching up?
This one has 2 again.
Mm-hmm.
And this one is different.
Yeah, that one is different, but that one we're not actually going to memorize. Do you know why?
No.
Because when the letter C is because he's a cat, when he's next to an E as well as an I from before, he hisses. Good job. And he says a sound. And so this one actually follows rules, and we don't need to memorize that. It's just this one. And if you remember with our other red word, 1, that O is making the same sound. It's making the wah, wah sound. And so what I'd like you to do is we're going to arm tap while saying the letter names.
O-N-C-E, once.
Mm-hmm.
O-N-C-E, once. O-N-C-E, once.
Good job. And I'd like you to trace this one for me 3 times while saying the letter names.
O-N-C-E. O-N-C-E. O-N-C-E.
Good job. And now what I'd like you to do is on here with this red marker, could you spell for me once, 3 more times while saying the letter names?
O-N-C-E. O-N-C-E. O-N-C-E.
Good job. Now, did you get the next red word?
Yes.
You did, and you can give it a tick for me. Good job. And now we're going to learn a new red word today, and we actually use the red word over here. And so this word says 2. Can you say that one for me?
2.
Two. And now I'd like you to tap the sounds for me.
T, oo.
And can you draw a line for each sound that you hear?
T, oo.
And can you write how it sounds?
T, oo.
You're right. A U does say an oo sound, especially if it's an open syllable. I like your thinking. But did you know that English words don't actually end in the letter U? And so how to is spelled, as in I'm going to the shops, is like this. What's not matching up?
O, toe.
Yeah, toe. What sound is the O making?
Oo.
Ooh, but O doesn't say ooh, does it? And so that's the one that we're going to have to memorize. And so what we're going to do is we're going to arm tap, okay? We're going to go T-O, two.
T-O-2.
Letter names.
T-O-2. T-O-2. T-O-2.
Good job. And now we're going to trace this with our finger while saying the letter names 3 times.
T-O-2. T-O-2. T-O-2.
Good job. And now what we're going to do is, with this red marker, we're going to write 2 3 times while saying the letter names.
T-O-2. T-O-2. T-O-2.
Good job. And so now we're going to fix up this sentence from before. The men rushed to chop the log. How do we spell to?
T-O.
T-O. Fix that one up for me.
T-O.
Alrighty, and we're almost done. Final review. So, what sound did we learn today? Ch. Ch. Good job. And how do we spell ch?
C-H.
And is it voiced or unvoiced?
Unvoiced.
And where does it go in a word?
It goes at the beginning or at the end sometimes.
Good job. And what's our keyword?
Chip.
And what's our pattern?
The H brothers.
And I think because we're all done, you get a final dinosaur stamp. Yay! Thank you, Nemo.